Hey, how's it going? I'm going to read a couple of cards. So, before I begin, I wanted to say that I was out there on my deck. Like you're in here knowing what's around the corner, but it is like around the corner right next to me, and you go, well, you have to go a little, it's over there. But I was out there like, meditating, just to kind of clear my head before I start doing this. And I love dragonflies, so I'm out there just doing like breathing things and trying to just get doing my breathing things to get in the right state of mind for what I wanted to, do. And they came late this year, but I finally saw a dragonfly about a week ago. Yeah, I usually see them like April, maybe before that, but not this year. And I rarely see, well, I usually just see one at a time. So I'm out there and it's just nice. The weather's nice. There's breeze and it's warm. And there's some kids and they're in the play enclosure that's outside nearby. But it was just a nice atmosphere, and I saw a dragonfly, and then there were two together, and I was like, this is so cool. I love to watch them. They're like little helicopters, and sometimes they'll come close, like if I say hi to them or you want to say hello, and they'll come closer, and I'm not sure what's attracting them, if it's that I asked them to, or the sound of my voice, or what, because I'm very appreciative of them. So hopefully the sound of my voice saying, hey, come say hi, is nice for them. But today, not only was there two, there was a whole bunch of them. There was, like 5 or 6. I don't know. It seemed like there were a lot. And then I noticed that some were smaller than the others, and they were kind of being corralled by larger ones. And I don't know if it was more than one group even that I was looking at, because the place where I was looking, that's just off my deck, there's blackberry bushes, there's all these other native flowering plants that I don't know the name of. Sorry. But it's like like the county fair over there with all kinds of, there's wasps and bees and butterflies and moths and birds and flies and whatever else. It's just like it's going off over there. So it looks like a family, and then like I said, there's larger ones, and then like a bomber came by. It was so big. It looked like kind of like as big as this thing, which I don't know what kind of scale that gives you to have my hand next to it, but my hand's not that big. That boy was big. And they kept like coming like right next to me. Like I could have reached out and touched them. Well, if I was really fast, I could have. There was a little bit of hovering, but they were not within reach for that, because I don't think they're dumb. Anyway, I got to see whatever. It was just really beautiful and calming, and it made me happy because I love them, and it's like a circle. I love them and they make me happy, and they make me happy and I love them. So that was like, I just felt like a good, I don't like to use this word, but omen. So, then I had pulled a card a while ago, a couple hours ago, from the Shaman Stream Oracle deck, and it is number 24, Galactic Mushroom, the Divine Matrix. Uh-oh. Oh, good. So I'm chuckling about the galactic mushroom thing because that's the first time I pulled that card. And when I got the deck, I did go through and look at them, but it was just like a glance to just see what they look like. And speaking of meditating, one of the things I like to do is when I ground myself is put my bare feet on the ground, and I have like this mental series of going down into the earth and passing through various areas and habitats and burrows and installations and bodies of water and like grids and all kinds of stuff. And one of the grids is the mycelium grid, which I always love that it's like earthbound and also space-based. Frequency-wise, it's intelligent is what I'm trying to choke out. And it may not be such a believable concept because we can't really hear it ourselves, most of us. I don't know that I'm hearing like specific things that it's saying to me. It may well be saying things because I can feel it, but you don't always have to be aware of what's happening when it happens to you. Anyway, I'm gonna read the card, what the book has to say about the card. Excuse me. Galactic. Take a drink first. Okay, galactic mushroom, the divine matrix, the intricate complexity of life. You might have been thinking and acting like you were the only one in the dream, creating your life. Oh, that intonation was bad. I'm just going to do that again. You might have been thinking and acting like you were the only one in the dream, creating your life. The galactic mushroom arrives at a playful yet potent reminder that you need to go with your higher power. The universal laws are not for your benefit only. The law of attraction does not exist just to serve up your desired outcome. The matrix of consciousness, called Source or God, Spirit, and many other names, is intricately woven into life. There is so much complexity that the human mind cannot comprehend in all the moving parts. It's impossible to see beyond what you already know. Just as the head of the mushroom is clearly visible above the soil, but not the living biome below. The thread-like mycelium fungi form vast, intricate networks underground, connecting different life forms with one another in a kind of internet of the plant kingdom. Imagine the divine matrix serving the same way, connecting the individual consciousness with that of the divine. Ding! The galactic mushroom reminds you that your dreams and desires are heard. This is a call for faith and trust. Whatever intention you hold consistently with hope and faith first manifests in the unseen realms. Whether or not you can see it working on your behalf, eventually you see the evidence play out in the serendipitous events that work in your favor, seemingly outside the law of cause and effect. Your most beautiful results are being birthed right now, not just for you, but for the highest good of all. Oh. So, I'm laughing because of what I just said. I did not read the guidebook part before I went out. Okay? So it's just been a funny day. And I had written some notes, and it's not coherent at all, but one of the things, the first thing I wrote where is it? I was feeling kind of porous. Where the heck is it? Oh, feeling very porous and at the same time subdued. That has like a tone that I feel like is gonna carry over, because it did before I started doing this. And speaking of carryover and stuff being porous and bleeding through, yesterday, do you recall that I pulled the Venus card? I should have taken it out. Or you could like go and look at the last video before this one. Anyway, it said something about going into the garden by yourself and appreciating all of the love that there is, that you don't necessarily need to have like an other, like a partner, a B unit. So I saw, before I started doing this, I saw a video, and I guess it was like a quickie from Kalina Molnar, who is like a mystic lady, and I follow her, and she does light language, and she's great. And if you want to know more, follow her channel, but I'm gonna link the short video that she did, because she's talking about Venus, and she touches on a lot of the stuff I said, well, I was trying to say yesterday. I don't know how clear I was, because I feel like I was having kind of a hard time getting stuff out. I was experiencing dissonance against myself, or with myself. No one asked for your opinion. So, then I pulled the card from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck, and I pulled Crocodile. And so here it is, and you see that he is, I guess it's a he. For me, he's sitting at the edge of the water, and what's in front of him that's lighter would be dry land, dry-ish. And I'm dry. The eyes kind of really got me at first because of the color, and my eyes look that color sometime, and I was like, wow, that's interesting when I first got the deck. And today, when I pulled it, I just thought, it always makes me think of like sitting by and just waiting for an opportunity, you know, like not feeling rushed, not feeling any kind of anxiety, unless something comes along, some situation that calls for anxiety. But basically, you're cool because you know you can just back up and floop, you're gone, like really fast. So, and not out of fear, because it's not like all desperately hungry or anything. It's just like hanging out and, you know, just hanging out and just being reserved. So I did notice that at the bottom I had written on here, heart racing retreat. And I thought that was interesting because it's like it's a repeating theme for me. That's to well, it was like it rung true with the whole subdued thing that I had written down, like what I was kind of feeling. Let me take a look and see what else did I write about that. I don't even know if I did write about the crocodile specifically, but that's the thing. Like there were things that stuff kept happening. It was just like, oh wow, how this has to do with that. Isn't that funny? But let me take a look here. Give me a second. The easiest and most gratifying way to both be creative and learning to hear and not supply what you think is supposed to be the inspiration is to just let things simmer. And they're just right there. What was I saying about the dude just sitting there and hanging out? So, I don't know what else. There might be something else significant. Hold on more seconds. So, like the crocodile maybe, for whatever reason can sense, as animals can, better than we do, that some change is coming that's like not an active man type change. And I wrote porous and subdued. Yeah, in order to be receptive to all of the energies that are coming from the outside from outside the confines of Earth. Not troubled with solidity, like they're not weighted down with weight. The vibrations, like light, move fast. Okay, so for me, especially, this rings true because I hear it over and over, but I also just know it to be the case. When I get, I call it when I get when I get overstimulated, it's like I get like all fizzy and it's like a chaotic feeling and like fast moving particles and just busy and hard to focus. So I need to slow the hell down. Like however is the best way at the time. And so one thing that really just kind of forces me to do it, to just like slow down and be subdued and relax, basically, which is what you have to do to be able to, receive the benefits of all the stuff coming at you. I mean, being receptive is to your benefit. So you just sit there and wait. You don't come here. You're not in a hurry. You're just hanging out because this guy probably knows instinctively, something's coming. Sit still. Heart racing, something from before, but definitely like retreat. Like I said, if stuff gets too real for your if it intrudes upon the serenity, then just back up into the water and out of sight. The ripples are nice. Excuse me a second. So, I know there's something else I wanted to say. It doesn't necessarily have to do with this, but let me make sure. Ow! Like, I could just go off on a tangent, but I had some actual things picked out that I might want to focus on. So if it's here, let me see. Oh, okay. So feeling kind of self-conscious. Feeling kind of self-conscious. So having to continually interrupt my flow to defend my serenity from myself, getting triggered by whatever. Porous and subdued, yeah, in order to be receptive to all of the energies that are incoming from the outside. I already read that part. Of coming from outside the confines of Earth. Natural, the solidity, the vibrations. There was something about light moving, and it was also like some kind of high-speed cosmic particle thing that had some kind of bearing, I thought. The world, the time, all the wheels turning at once is dizzying. I forgot the why. It's dizzying. The overall opening of so many of us at once is intensely powerful. Even as I repeatedly say, when we're unaware of them, the energies, or what we generate ourselves, whether we're aware of like our power and how we think of it for what it is can differ obviously from person to person, but we know what what we're good at, like what we have a knack for, and sometimes that's the ability to like mentally work people, like put some kind of push on them. And we may not think of it as like anything woo-woo, but have you seen, based on a true story, it's on Peacock, and it has, I forgot to do signs, but there will be spoilers. It has Kaylee Cuoco and Chris Messina, and I forget who their co-star is, but he's tall and he's all over it, and I am going to mind my tongue, and that's all I'll say about that, except that, oh, come on, where was I going with that? Oh, like, being able to, like, influence people with just, how to make friends and influence people. This guy is... Anyway, there's a character in there who has that ability, and they can make people do stuff they don't want to do, and he can deliver a threat so covered in sugary glaze and yet menacingly filled with menace filling, stuffed with menace filling. Damn, I messed that up. But anyway, that is a good story. I finished the season, and thumbs up. It's good. But yeah, there's a character in there that can just mess with your mind, and certainly I've met people that have known me for 2 seconds and can like press my buttons, and I'm not inclined to want to do that, but I know other Sagittariuses, they're like the dark Sag. And they're like that. They're deceptive and thieves of stuff and emotional stability and just, I don't know. But also something else that I know that I put in there, it was that thing about being affected and not really being aware of it. So when I first moved to this place, I like to pick up rocks, and there's lots of cool stones here. There's all these different color agates and other like colored jasper and things, which is cool. And then I'm just like going around in my wheelchair and seeing them on the ground and picking them up. But that's something I've always done, though, is pick up, rocks for whatever reason. So I was finding a lot of these gray stones. They're not particularly exciting, except they're shaped, some of them, like, well, now that I'm so far north, I know what a cheese curd looks like. And some of them look like they were extruded that way, and some of them are bigger, but they're not real exciting looking with a color or anything. They have pock marks, and they look like when they were soft, they got like wrapped up in some like fishing line gauge stuff, because they have these creases that totally look like something was wrapped around them that thin, like tangled. And it's interesting, but not like woo, like red agates and blue agates. That's pretty cool. So anyway, but I kept grabbing them. They were just like calling me, like, I don't know, I couldn't resist. So I ended up with a bunch of them. And a little while later, I was watching a video and learned that those stones are attractive to like a certain sensitivity, and they interact with you, and you're like, it's like a radio and an amplifier kind of situation, or like a booster or something. But when you tune into it and it tunes into you, you sort of create a what is the word? A field, I guess, and it emanates around, I guess, the person. And it was like you have to get them around you for this to happen. Like, you have to like physically take them and bring them into your home with you. And I'm sitting there watching that going, oh my God, yeah, I totally did that. And so that's what I mean by you sort of like, you don't even realize you're being guided into doing stuff. And it's what you, at least in my case, is what I mean to do and want to do. So if I can do that, and like on the really down low, like low frequency type vibration, if it helps, I'm there. I'm your man. Okay, did I read the crocodile thing? Do I need to read it? Oh, I think I did read it. Okay. Gosh, tomorrow's a holiday. Should I do one? I don't know. Thank you and good night. Oh, happy 4th of July.